Hello and good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great weekend. I know mine was jam packed with 9 million activities. I don't know about yours, Natalie.
Same.
Well, yeah, you were off Cape.
Yeah, we went to Newport. It was wonderful, 80 degrees. Who can't beat that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that anomaly because yesterday hit us like a slap in the face
Oh, I
for
know.
sure.
80 to
Hi,
50, quick.
Monday morning is here for us, and I'm excited to have Natalie Shortsleeve on with us. And she is from Your Better Fit Life, right? I got it. Your Better Fit Life.
Yes.
Which I'm in quest of my better fit life once again for the 4,587th time. We'll talk about her business. I want to thank Habitat for Humanity for sponsoring the show. Make sure you go and visit their restores. If you are looking for a demo and you're like, wow, how am I going to get rid of my cabinets? They will actually send a demo team into your home, take out your old cabinets, take out your gently used appliances, and then sell them at the restore. And they build more houses with them. It is reducing, recycling, and also helping our community. Thank you so much, Habitat for Humanity, for all of the things you do. Also, we're towards the end of the year. And if you've got an old clunker in your yard, which I do, which I am going to be donating to Habitat for Humanity, you can go and they will take your car for you and they will spin that around and buy more houses with it. So definitely a fabulous organization. We thank you for all of your sponsorship of the show. And also Tony Andrews Farms. Can I just tell you how wonderful Jeff is? He yesterday answered the call. I was desperate for pumpkins. We had a kids event and he's like, "Come, what do you need?" And not only that, he is now donating more to the Cape Cod Children's Museum for their night at the Museum tomorrow. So thank you so much, Tony Andrews Farms, for being part of our community and helping everybody out. I hope everybody had a fabulous weekend. I was starting to talk to Natalie. Not only are you a fitness professional, hey Mark, good morning. You're an E for All gal.
Yeah,
You're halfway through the program, more than halfway now.
just more than halfway. We just finished our progress pitch.
So introduce yourself to everyone and tell them what you're doing. Like, where's your progress pitch? Let
Yeah.
me hear your pitch.
Hi, guys. So, my name is Natalie Shortsleeve, and I'm the founder of Your Better Fit Life. And we're a fully virtual nutrition coaching company. We help women lose weight, gain confidence, and build healthier habits through behavior change and a lot of mindset reprogramming.
Value prop on point right here. Very nice. How was your experience thus far?
I'm really enjoying it. It's been really great to keep me accountable to do the things that I've been wanting to do and needing to do for the last year. And this is making me do it. So,
You and I were talking off the air about how that's what you do for people in fitness and eating and mindfulness and just kind of life coaching in general. And here you are having to be like, oh, yeah, I need that too.
yeah, it's interesting. I've always had accountability as part of my program. And personally, I never thought I needed it until now I'm running my own business. And I realized, oh, yeah, accountability is really important because if someone is not pushing you to have a deadline and say, okay, let's get this done at this time, it just doesn't happen.
Well, especially when you're an entrepreneur, you're just starting out being in business for yourself. And then you realize that, oh, if I don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. And excuses start kicking in.
Like, well, I didn't have to. I mean, I work for myself.
Exactly. And complacency kicks in, self-sabotage. That's something I talk about a lot through my program is self-sabotage and all the different ways it creeps up.
So, how did you arrive at this point in your life?
Many lives. So I actually I have my master's degree in human intelligence. And that is something that I thought I wanted to take in the federal route. I wanted to work
Okay.
for the FBI, CIA, all of that fun jazz. Um, they did not hire me. It was 2010 where everyone was applying, and I think one of the jobs I applied for, 50,000 people applied for that same job, and not only did I get rejected once, I actually got rejected 7 times from just the one job I applied.
Wow.
It was a mistake. It was actually really funny. I got throughout the whole year, I got 7 replica rejection letters. There was a computer glitch, and I was like, "Okay, I get it. You don't want me." Right.
Did you call someone? You're like,
Yeah.
do I keep applying for something or do you just like routinely rejecting people to see? Is this a test?
Yeah, I
Am I in a
did.
test zone?
I did. And they were like, "We're so sorry. This has been a computer glitch. You're not the only one who's received multiple rejection letters from the same job." I'm like, "I only applied once."
That's kind of a funny story, but also it's dejecting.
I think by the third rejection letter, I was like, "Well, you know
Okay.
what? Time to pivot."
Do I even want to work for this organization? I don't think I do. Seems a little
Exactly.
disorganized.
I know.
What's up, government?
But it was a different life ago, and I went down a different route. I was always, super active growing up. I played lacrosse, I played volleyball, and in my 20s, I boxed and I loved it. And it was so fun. And I was always hyper, I was always
Yeah.
moving my body. And then when I was 24, I got a real job and I worked at a law firm and I started working a lot. And I realized I did not have time to go to the gym 4 hours a day like I was
Yeah.
doing before. I mean, it's just you're working, 7 in the morning until when I was in trial mode, 1, 2 AM. I mean, it was a
That's a
lot.
lot to unpack there because when you're a person that needs that physical exertion and you're kind of stifling your body's natural tendencies, it's got to take a whole toll on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I worked 100-hour work weeks.
Like I was born to sloth, I think, a little bit. Good morning, Serafina. But it's funny when I started employing my body, went into the military, started moving it, and then I set the schedule for myself, which is turned out to be a lifelong schedule. If you said to my high school self that you were going to be a morning person, that would have been an absolute joke. There is no way that is ever happening. But somewhere your body kind of clicks into a schedule or a routine or a thing you do. And when you try
Exactly.
and fight that, that's when problems happen.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, we create these routines for us depending on, our childhood, what we were raised with, our college. Like same with you. I used to sleep until 2 p.m. when I was younger. And then in college, I joined ROTC and I
Mhm.
started doing PT at 6 a.m. and I just got used to,
It's a schedule that has
yeah.
become part of your body. Serafina and Lauren both say good morning to you both.
Oh,
E for all
hello.
people. Good morning, Brandon. What's up, Danny? So we're sitting here with Natalie Shortsleeve. She's got a new business, but also you've been at this fitness journey,
Yeah. For over 8 years now.
yeah, long
Yeah.
time. And I loved when you and I had a Zoom meeting prior to doing this because her training is, by the way, all virtual. So if you ever want to work with her and you're like, she says something that resonates with you, you can work with her at any point. But you said, some of our bad habits, even our eating habits, start at basic birth.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about that. It's all of the habits that we've created. Literally, like when we don't listen to our hunger cues, when we just keep eating, we end up overeating. That's not something that we've created in the last year, right? This is something that created in our bodies, in our brains at birth almost, right? When we're born and when mom's feeding a baby a bottle, the baby will literally push that bottle away when it's done. But what happens is the mom goes, "Oh no, the book says you need to drink 2 more ounces," and we'll push the bottle right back in the baby. And so the baby goes, "Oh, I guess I shouldn't listen to my hunger cues." I mean, we learn this
We
at a
ignore
really,
that.
yeah,
I still want to eat it.
but we learn at a really young age that, okay, I guess I'm going to listen to other cues, external cues
Yeah.
versus internal cues. Um, But the good thing is, our brain is neuroplastic, and that means that we can learn things and we can unlearn things and relearn things. We just constantly be
You can
learning.
do it.
It's possible.
I tell myself that all the time. We can do this. Even though you might not like it, it might be painful. Growth really stinks sometimes.
It can be powerful though. I think in my business, I chose my mascot logo, if you will, is a butterfly because I view my clients with me are these, they're caterpillars and they're cocooning in this safe environment that I create to teach them the habits and behaviors that they need to become that butterfly and fly away. And I really loved that, that imagery because that's exactly what I want. The big joke was I'm coaching myself out of a job because I view my clients as my baby birds and I'm the mama bird.
Yep.
And it's my job to grow their wings nice and strong so that when they're ready to leave the nest, they can fly all the way down south and they're not coming back.
Yeah. Yes and no. I mean, I feel like we all need checkups every once in a while to see where you're at, what's going on. I mean, you've had to have had clients that have been with you for a while. I feel like everyone's on their own space and their own time frame. So it could be 100 years. Like, you're with me forever now.
I view it as audits, right? So part of my program, what I teach is, and I think what differentiates me is I focus, yes, you're going to lose the weight. That's kind of the byproduct of what we do together, but you're
Yeah.
going to change your habits and behaviors so that you're always going to know what you need to do. And I call it an audit in the future because in the end of our program, I teach you how to relive what normal is. Because a lot of times we don't realize what normal is,
What our normal
Yeah,
is.
our normal might not be beneficial for us. So we need to relearn what a normal eating habit is, what a normal behavior might be. And in the future, yeah, life changes, right? We
Mm.
might not be so busy right now. I know I had a lot of clients in the beginning of the pandemic, and it was super easy for them to change their habits and behaviors because they didn't,
I was locked away.
yeah, they weren't going out to
It's
dinner.
you, it's me, and I'm stuck in this house. What are we doing?
Exactly. So, that's part of something I teach is learning how to audit yourself when you realize where awareness is key,
Yeah.
right? When you realize that, oh, hey, something's shifting. I'm
We
not
have a
doing,
problem.
yeah, like I'm not doing what I was supposed to be doing, but I enjoyed doing anymore. I'm kind of going back to old ways. It's okay. It happens, right? When we get stressed, it's so much easier to go back to like, you know, what we used to do for 20
Yeah.
years in a
Right.
row. But that's okay. You just call yourself out and say, okay, let me pivot. Let me audit what I'm doing right now and see what I need to pivot. And that's it. That's simple.
So you have been at this for quite some time, and it's so funny because you get really excited about all of the things that you do, and I love that you've collected the experience. It's like micro experiences to add and make this program. Talk about building this program a little bit.
Yeah, I spent months and months. I mean, this is really a culmination of years of experience, but I built an online learning course to kind of take my clients through this process because there's only so much I can
Yeah,
reiterate
but I
over.
like that you're using your schooling, your knowledge of behavioral, like the way we actually talk to ourselves
Yeah,
inside here, and then add that with your food and mindfulness and moving your body,
yeah,
all of the whole program.
yeah. There's a saying that I love that says, "You get what you work for, but you keep what you think you deserve." And I love that saying because you can work hard and achieve your success, but I'm not here for your short-term success. I'm here for your long-term success. So if you don't truly believe that you think you're worth it, that you believe the identity of yourself is a fit person, right? My company is Your Better Fit Life. If you don't feel like you're living a better fit life and that you're worth living that, it's not going to stay, right? So that's so much of what I focus on. And back to, my law firm days, when I gained a lot of weight working so many hours, not going to the gym, and it took me a really long time to get my shit together
Yeah.
and realize, all right, I need some help. And I got myself a personal trainer and I worked with her. And first off, it took a lot for me to realize that I could actually ask for an hour a week off
Yeah.
from my boss. And I'm telling you guys, if you're working a job and you feel like, oh my God, it's impossible, I can't ask for an hour off. I did. And I couldn't believe they said yes. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, okay, yeah. And I said, if it's okay, if I'm just gonna work out from 6:30 in the morning until 7:30 in the morning, I'm available before and after. And they're like, yeah, okay, great, cool. We'll see you then. Like, see you
Yeah.
after. And it was just asking for that boundary was so important. And then I started working with a personal trainer and I, started feeling better. And I was sitting there, and this is how I realized I needed to pivot in my career. I was sitting after a workout session, and the endorphin high, and I'm smiling ear to ear. And I'm sitting there at the gym being like, I feel amazing right now. And this just light bulb went off, and I said, I need to make other people feel this way. Like that
That's why
is
they didn't want to give you that hour. No, I'm kidding.
But that is why I pivoted my career right then and there. I said, I need to leave the legal world and I need to help other people feel the way I'm feeling because it feels so good and
Yeah.
I need to share this feeling. And so I became a personal trainer, and I did that for 8 years and I loved it. And working out is great. Fitness is great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Fitness is great. And I view movement for longevity, right? Longevity of health. But it's really nutrition
Yeah.
that helps you lose weight. If you're trying to lose weight, nutrition is really where we need to clean up in the kitchen.
Yep.
And the combination, that was great. And I worked doing nutrition coaching for a while, and I thought, this is great, this nutrition and movement. But then I realized there's a missing piece. And that's when I created my business. The mindset piece is so important. You know, you can move your body, you can eat right, but if you don't feel right inside, nothing's going to change.
Yeah. Good morning, Sherry and Megan. My friend James Karen from the Cape Cod Nutrition Corner always said muscles are made in the kitchen. And it's always stuck with me. I kind of been spending a little bit too much time in the kitchen though. And overworking. I overwork. And that's really what happens. So we get into this space where I'm sitting all the time. And I selfishly, when I saw that you were sending this business and you had a workshop coming up, I want to do on specifically because I'm trying to make myself get in that mindset, get in that preparedness to take this on. Because I tend to go, all right, well, I'm all in. I'm 100% in. We're going to go 130 degrees until I go the other way. And so I'm trying to just slowly work this into actual changes in my life.
Yes, that's the way to go.
Oh, God, why is it taking me this long to grown up a little?
Hey,
But it is.
It's the all or nothing mentality that is so common.
I'm
And
so extreme.
yeah, I mean, a lot of us are, right?
Yeah.
We think, okay, gung ho, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go every single day. And we go every day for 3 days. And then we're like, well, I'm sore now, so I'm going to take some time.
Right.
But if we just went once a week to start, I mean, a lot of my clients, they don't feel comfortable going to the gym right away.
Yeah.
So I said, all right, let's walk, right? Let's walk first. Don't go to the gym yet. Let's just walk. Let's get your steps up. And, the 10,000 steps a day, that's great. But if I'm going to meet you where you are. So if you're at 2,000 steps, 1,000 steps, okay, let's try to get 100 more steps a day. 100 steps, that's a walk to the bathroom and back. You got to meet yourself where you are. And it's a lot harder to do that, on your own. And it's easier when someone's telling you, okay, these are the metrics, these are the numbers, this is the data, this is where we're going to go. And we'll take you there.
It's like pretty much a running joke that I collect personal trainers. They're all my friends, and I listen to none of them when it comes to fitness and food. And it's literally a joke.
I look forward to a lifelong friendship.
I'm like, once again, Natalie, welcome to the crew. We have a lot of fun. We respect each other. We love each other. We know what each other are saying, but I listen to none of you. Why is your program different? Why are you the different?
Yeah. So two reasons. The number one is what I talked about. The mindset difference is, I work a lot on why, right? Why do we feel this way? One of the core chapters, I guess you could say, of my program is body image, and I want to delve, and it's hard. We delve deep, and we talk about, well, one of the days I ask you, I have a 14-day challenge, and I ask you to get undressed in front of the mirror. And I ask you to write out all of the things that are in your head, all of those negative things that are in your inner voice telling you. And then I want you to say them out loud. And it's hard and it's not nice. And then I want you to ask yourself, where did these come from? Because you weren't born thinking that. You weren't born with these thoughts. You heard them along the way. Right? We weren't born hating ourselves. We were taught along the way. The first step is awareness, because we hear these voices in our inner voice and we think it's us, but it's not us, right? Name that inner voice, separate it from yourself, because it's not you. It's wherever it came from, your parents, bullies growing up, social media, the media in general, wherever it came from. Let's call that out and say, hey, this is where that specific thought came from, because then it no longer controls you. It doesn't own you anymore, because now you can put it in a box and say, hey, I know where this came from, right? So dealing with that mindset and understanding, hey, I get it. I get this is why I feel this way. And I don't have to feel this way because it's not me, right? This isn't me. But this so often we think it's me
Mm,
because it's the voice in our head.
yeah.
Right? But it's not. And so that's one of the biggest things that I go through is this isn't just a movement and fitness, and count your calories program. This is we're going to dive deep and we're going to figure out where this came from and how we can tackle it to move forward. And then the second half, what is the key to your better fit life for life is I teach you how to live a normal life again. And we pull you out of being in a deficit called a reverse diet. And we bring your calories up because a lot of people, what happens is you go in different weight loss programs and you lose weight and that's great. But now you're eating so low. And when you start eating normal again, it all comes back up.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want to yo-yo you. That's not my goal.
Good morning, Mary Jane. Christiana Lauren says Natalie Shortsleeve will hold you accountable. And she does say it's societal expectations and bullies, and you can get rid of it. So I like that we're talking a little bit about this and the mental aspect of when you're in this space. I am definitely not that kind of person. I am reverse body dysmorphia where I'm like, I look good, I look fine. And then, and then it's too late. I've let it go for so long.
It's not too late.
That I'm like, sweet Jesus, now this is real uphill. And I just ignore it kind of.
Yeah.
I just ignore it. I'm the ignorer of the things that are happening that I'm like, well, I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
well,
then 3 years later, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah. But that's part of the mindset. We don't want to deal with it, right? One of the things I have learned.
If I don't see it, it's not there.
In the past, the past couple months working with eForall, actually, we did a market research survey and I found out that, I mean, I knew this to be the case, but the word weight loss is a trigger word for people. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
It's scary because it forces them to think
sounds
about
like work.
Yeah.
We don't want that. I got enough work on my plate.
But it's true. It's a trigger word. And, I have to be careful with my marketing messages because I don't want to turn people away that really want to change themselves and better themselves. But that word is too scary for them.
Yeah.
Right. Habit and behavior, which is the bulk of my program is habit and behavior change. That sounds easier, right? That sounds better than, oh, I want to lose weight. Because again, as I said, the weight loss is just a byproduct, right? Changing your life for the better and creating a better fit life. That's the real
the
deal.
plan. Yeah.
And, we pull you out of being in a diet because I don't want you in a diet forever. So many of my clients come in and they've been yo-yo dieting for 30 years, 40 years. And I have a client now that the first 3 months, we actually didn't eat in a deficit at all. I pulled her out and because she was eating 1,200 calories a day and still gaining weight because she was eating so low. So I pulled her out of 1,200 calories.
Because your body goes into panic mode. We're holding on to everything.
And what happens is the metabolism lowers.
Yeah.
Your metabolism, right? When we create that deficit, it doesn't want to be in a deficit. So it will lower itself down to meet you where you're giving it. Right?
Yeah.
So I pulled her out of 1,200 calories a day to over 2,000. I think she was eating at close to 2,100. And she actually lost 3 pounds during that time for 3 months. Then we stayed there for, I think, almost 2 months. And now we're in a deficit and she's lost, I think, 6 pounds already. I mean, it's great because her body is happy.
Yeah, right.
She's giving it so much more food and fuel. And it's great. And as we get into the holiday season, it's good to remind ourselves.
Yeah, it's a trigger. It's one of those things where it's parties, it's people, we do this, we fatten up for the holidays. We look forward to that excessive everything. Yeah. It's almost like our whole year has been a diet until now, and now we can just let it go. Well, we're going to be in big sweaters and sweatpants for the next 4 months. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And we do it to ourselves. It's always this time of year that I get a little bit anxious because I'm like, oh God, it's going up again.
Yeah.
It's going up more.
And it's all we tell ourselves diet starts tomorrow, right?
Right.
But it doesn't have to be that diet starts tomorrow mentality. I'm actually running a program, a free workshop called Holiday Eating in 2 weeks now, November 15th. And it's a Zoom workshop. So it's virtual. You can join wherever. And we're going to talk all about how to manage yourself during all of those family feasts, how to resist all of the temptations. If there's treats and sweets all around you, let's plan it into your day. I'm not someone, I mean, I love myself I just made pavlova last night. Oh my gosh, it was so good. It came out. Oh, I love sweets. And when I lost 40 pounds, I made sure I had a freshly baked cookie
Yep.
every single day. That was a priority for me. I actually planned my day around the cookie. I would plan the night before, I would go into my Fitness Pal and I would put in my cookie. And then I would say, okay, what else am I going to have today? But because it's
It's
important
your
to me.
it's getting you going treat.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I love food. I mean, food is delicious and
Yep.
we should enjoy it. So let's plan around it. So, let's not deny ourselves any sweets, but let's plan for them, right? Let's say, okay, I know that my aunt makes this delicious, whatever it is
Yep.
for the holidays. I
Mine
want
is
to,
7 layer bars,
yeah.
and Auntie Gail makes the best ones, so I do understand this.
Yeah, so let's know that this day, that's where we're gonna plan for this. We don't have to have the whole thing, right? We can
Mhm.
have a bite. We can get rid of that scarcity mentality. Sweets and treats are everywhere at all times of the
Yeah, why do
year.
we do that? I don't know why I do that either.
It's habit,
Like
right?
hoarding.
It's habit. I remember I used to love this Chinese food place, and they had this Peking duck, and it was so
Mhm.
good. And then they had this whole thing they were closing, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm never gonna get this Peking duck again. And the weekend that they closed, I went 4 times and got this Peking duck
You're like, "I'm totally
because I was like,
swollen. I
I'm
can't open
never
my
gonna have
eyeballs,
Peking
but"
duck again.
I know.
And then what it was for me, it was this switch of like, wait a second. I can get Peking duck again. I can make this. Good food is all around me.
Mm,
And actually, I found a farm in Pennsylvania that ships a like 75% pre-cooked. It's not pre-cooked, but it's like pre-prepared
yeah.
Peking duck. And then you just pop it in the oven for 20 minutes. Oh my God, it's so good. So
Life-changing.
now I can make it whenever I want. And for me, that was a really big moment. I made that Peking duck. I was like, yes, I can make it whenever. And I did.
Yep.
And I felt satisfied. And then I didn't need to eat the whole thing and feel like crap after,
Yeah, yeah.
So in this workshop, we're going to talk about that, how to, plan things into your day, how to deal with food pushing relatives. I know because I was one.
Well, I have them. They're everywhere.
I was one. It's how we show our
Yeah.
love. But how to manage it, how to deal with it. What are your values and priorities around this, right? Is today going to be a day of my values and priorities are sticking with my deficit and I'm not going to go overboard because I don't need to. This is not a value or priority to me. Or is it a value and priority to enjoy your on 7 layer, bar, or
Mhm.
is that the value and priority? Fine. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? Let's make that your value and priority, and that's okay. And then let's not beat ourselves up after because that was our value and priority, and that's okay.
What about just basic mindlessness? I feel like I'm just one of those people that doesn't even I'm at a point in my life where there's no accountability because I don't really care. And if it's fuel and it's food, and for me right now, I will have that because I'm so busy I can't even wrap my brain around it. What is a program there?
Yeah.
What do I do there?
I actually just ran a workshop a couple weeks ago on mindless eating. It's actually under the umbrella of emotional eating, which is again another trigger word no one wants to talk
I
about.
like that.
But mindless eating, boredom eating, it is an emotion and it's a habit that we do, that we reach for food when we're bored, when we're not thinking. And so I ran this workshop and it was a huge success. I'm definitely going to run it again in the future. So
Good.
follow me on Instagram. I'll let you know when it is. But yeah, so the biggest thing, so I'll give you my 2 cents of advice here.
Perfect.
Create a pause.
Okay.
That is the key, right? Mindless eating is when we are just in our automated behaviors. We are not even thinking what we're doing. We
Mhm.
don't even realize. I remember I had a client once, and we were on a Zoom call back and forth. That's how I meet with my clients, on Zoom. And she's telling me that she's like, oh yeah, this is what I eat and blah, blah, blah. And I'm, very strict. I don't snack anymore. And I'm watching her and she's talking to me on Zoom like this. Don't snack anymore. Not at all. Nope. And I'm like, do you not see what I'm seeing? And she's like, what? I'm like, you're eating nuts. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't even realize. because it was such an automated behavior.
Yeah.
They actually did this study. This is one of my favorite studies. It's called the popcorn study. And it's a little more in depth for habit and behavior change, but it's about automated behaviors when it comes to associational foods. So associational associational eating is when we associate eating with a particular behavior or
Activity.
activity.
Right. Going to the
So
movies last night. Went and saw Five
exactly.
Nights at Freddy's. Wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, by the way, just in case. My kids like to take me to things just to laugh at
I
me
will
when I
not be
either
watching
cry
it.
or scream.
I
They're-
am not a scary person.
Most of the
No
time,
way.
they just watch my reaction, not even the movie. I'm like, why are we here? We can do this at home. You can abuse me at home later. But yeah, it's the popcorn. I
Yeah.
got at my husband's last night. Do you want candy? No, I don't want candy. It's Halloween season. I've got a bucket of candy at home. I didn't need to come to the movies to spend $20 for a piece of candy that I don't need anyway.
Yeah.
No, but I did have some popcorn. Not mad at myself over it, but I was glad I removed it. I had my handful and I gave it to my son and all of their friends in the back row. Goodbye.
That's the key. So
Like, I was better about it.
it's what
still
we
gross.
associate, right?
Yeah.
It's what we associate. And a
I'm
lot of
going here.
people-
I'm going to have this.
Yes, a lot of people associate eating popcorn with watching TV or
Yep.
watching a movie. So they did this really cool study where they had two groups of people who were popcorn eaters, when they associated eating popcorn while watching movies, and the other half didn't really, they were neutral. So they gave them both popcorn. And halfway through, and so they are eating the popcorn, everyone is eating the popcorn.
Yep.
Why not? It's right in front of you. And halfway through the movie, they switched the popcorn out to stale popcorn.
Yep.
And the people that were neutral and didn't really care about popcorn as much, they obviously stopped eating it because it's
Right.
like, ew, gross. This is now stale popcorn. So they stopped eating it. But the people who were associational popcorn eaters,
We're still eating the
they
popcorn.
kept eating the popcorn. And so they interviewed all of them and they asked, like, why did you stop eating the popcorn? And the people who didn't really care about popcorn were like, well, it tasted bad, so I stopped. And the people who did, they said, I don't know. I noticed it tastes bad, but I don't know.
I still ate it.
I just kept eating it.
So me.
That's just what I do. They created an identity on it. And so then they did a second day and they gave, the same people, popcorn eaters, not popcorn eaters, the same popcorn. And they said, this time you have to, if you're going to eat the popcorn, you have to eat it with your non-dominant hand. And so they did the exact same thing. Everyone started eating the popcorn with their non-dominant hand. And halfway through, they switched it out to the stale popcorn.
Yep.
And everyone stopped eating the popcorn.
Hmm.
And the reason is
It was the
because
two.
it's no longer an automated behavior, because when you're eating with your dominant hand, right? You're eating with your dominant hand. That's an automated behavior. But when you're eating with your non-dominant hand, what does that do? Back to my first 2 cents.
You have to think about it.
It creates a pause.
Yeah.
So creating that pause gave you enough of a brain second to think, oh, I don't want this. This is gross.
Yeah.
Right? So creating that pause is key for behavior change because it allows your brain to actually think, wait, do I want this? What do I actually need? Because that's the second question.
Yeah.
Create that pause, realize what you're doing, and then ask yourself, what do I really need? Right? When I'm feeling low, when I'm feeling, crappy, my go-to is to make mac and cheese, right? That's my comfort food.
Yep.
Well, hold on. What did I just say? Comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeking comfort, right? I'm not actually seeking mac and cheese. The mac and cheese makes me feel comforted because it's something that I used to eat when I was a child. So I'm seeking comfort. Hold on, I need comfort. I don't need food. Maybe I need to go and get a hug, get a hug from your children or from your spouse or hug yourself or whatever it may be. That's what we're seeking. So that's the key, is creating that pause and then asking, what do I really need? And then the third part, that's the hardest part, is actually
doing it.
giving yourself what you really need.
I was like, wait a minute, Natalie, we don't do that. That's usually where I'm like, ugh, that's work. Bye. And you do have to be ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah. It really, it's, if you're not ready, that's okay. You will be. You will be. It's okay. You don't need to kick yourself saying, well, I can't do that yet. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. You're not there yet. You really have to be ready. I tell all my clients, if you're not in this, That's all right.
Yeah, you can give me your money. Thanks for the donation, but I mean, you're just going to
Yeah,
be back
it's
here. I'm not doing anything
I
for
want to
you.
see success. I want
Yeah.
to see your success is my success, right? So if you're not ready, that's okay. Investigate why aren't you ready yet, you know? Do that inner work first and then come to me.
I love it. So you've got your workshop coming up. Let everybody know how to get a hold of you there for the workshop.
Yeah, so I'm promoting it on my Instagram right now. It's at Natalie Short Sleeve. I'm sure you'll tag it.
You can remember
Yeah.
this. I
It's
will
very
type it
common,
underneath.
short
Yeah,
sleeve,
right?
just like the t-shirt.
Yeah, I love it.
And that's the best way to reach me. My website is yourbetterfitlife.com. And the workshop is a free Zoom workshop. It's going to be great. We did a couple weeks ago. We did one on emotional eating and mindless snacking, and that went really well. That went really great. So
Yeah.
probably do that in the future again too.
When are you graduating from EFRL?
December.
What are you asking for?
I don't know yet.
That's exciting. This is the fun part. It's like you do all the work and then you're like, what does my business actually need? And then you get to like decide what it needs and then ask for it. Your pitch.
Yeah, I think this week we're starting to learn about that. They don't tell us in E4All. It's all about trusting the process,
Yeah.
which is funny because
You're such a planner, you can't handle it.
I am such a planner, but I
this.
also like those words I tell my clients all the time. Trust the process.
Yeah.
But I also tell you I'm a planner. So I'm telling you what the process is going to look like. I'm not keeping it blind from you.
Right.
You know, so I'm telling you every step of the way, this is, you know, we're not going to see that scale go all the way down. It's going to fluctuate because that is life, right? Trust the process is for me and my clients is when the scale goes up, let's not be, you know, let's be curious, not furious, right? Let's be data driven, not drama driven. Those are the four things I always say. I'm like, let's not be drama driven here. Let's be data driven and let's know if the scale goes up the next day. Well, why?
Yeah.
What happened? Did we, you know, overeat? Did we eat a lot of salt? Did we, you know, eat takeout food or food that we're not used to eating that our body's like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, right.
Did we maybe not drink enough water? So your body is hoarding it because it's like, oh my gosh, when are we going to get more water again?
That's my husband's hurdle right now. He's got his new little water bottle and he walks around filling it all up all day. And he's like, nobody said that when you drink more, it makes you more thirsty. I'm more thirsty now that I'm drinking more water. I don't understand it.
Because your brain gets with the program. It goes, oh, you're giving me what I need. This is great. Let's get more.
Yeah, right.
Right? Our brain, it works both ways, right? When we give ourselves the junk food changes our brain chemistry to want more. Well, it's when we give ourselves good food, our brain's like, whoa, this is what I really need. Give me more of this. Like I crave vegetables if I don't get enough because my brain is like, vegetables make me
these
feel
are good.
Yeah.
We like these.
Yeah.
Oh, Lauren, this whole group is cutthroat. They hate when you say trust the process.
Yeah. You know, it's important to trust the process, but know what the process looks like.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just have to give in. And that's what this whole program is about. If you are thinking about starting your own business, and you're like, whatever, whether it's the business portion of things that you don't understand, whether it's putting it all together, maybe you're going in too many different directions, I definitely suggest doing E4All. It's so good for your business savvy, but also I liked the process with the group. I liked having other people that were kind of at the same level or people that kind of had things more together in this avenue and not in that avenue to be able to not only go through it, but also help other people where you saw that you could be helpful to them.
Yeah, our group has been so supportive and great. And everyone is I mean, we have concept ideas to people like me who've been in business for a year.
Yeah.
So it's all the whole spectrum. But it's been really great. And, you know, I was so lucky to be able to join E4All. And I did because I know how to run my business in the, you know, how to help you live a better fit life.
Right. In your bubble.
Yeah. In my bubble of actually how to help client facing. But the behind the scenes, the back, you know, the backlogs of everything. I'm like, oh,
this
scary.
is a little nightmare back here. Speaking of Halloween.
Yeah. So that's been really helpful.
Also, the group thing. I feel like I work out better with a group. I feel like I eat better with a group. I feel like, all right, we're all in this together. I don't feel so singled out. I don't feel like it's all on me to deal with it, which is what I like E4All with also.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is just an easier, I don't know, pill to swallow. What is that? Eat the frog. It's easier to eat the frog.
I don't know if I've ever heard that saying.
You've never
before.
heard it?
I don't know. Eat the frog.
So it's do the hardest thing first. Let's do do the thing you don't want to do the most first. That way everything else is just easier.
Interesting. I kind of like that concept. I'm really bigger. I'm a big proponent of just break it down.
Yeah.
Break it down to little steps.
But I mean, you got to start somewhere. It's like, I don't want to do this at all.
Yeah.
So maybe that's your frog.
Yeah,
I'll break it down. I'll do that thing that I have to do. I just, it's a lot. It's a lot to put your whole, because you're in class 3 days a week and then you're thinking about that. And then you're in mentor meetings. It's all encompassing.
It's all encompassing, but it's for me, it's really put myself in the shoes of my clients and realized, oh, yeah, accountability is so key and structure is so key. And, Ephraim, just like what I view myself as for my clients, I provide that roadmap and I'm your co-pilot.
Yeah.
And that's what Ephraim has been doing for me, which has been really great. But it really is key, right? Like there's so many different ways to go about this, but if we have a roadmap to get there and we have a really great co-pilot, life is great.
Anything else you want to talk about before we leave today?
I don't know. Should we talk about how Halloween is tomorrow?
I'm okay with it because I've been completely surrounded by sweets, treats, ridiculousness. I feel like now for the last 2 weeks. And so next Sunday, I want to invite everyone to Knockabout. We are doing a 0.5K, guys. This is where we're doing three blocks.
That's some steps. That's all that matters.
But also we're collecting your old candy, your candy that's been sitting around the house. Maybe it's not your favorite. It's still haunting you in your home, just sitting around in a bucket. We're going to give you a new toothbrush. And we're going to take this candy and we're going to do gingerbread stuff with it throughout the Christmas season.
Oh, I love that.
So, save your teeth, save your body just a little bit.
Yeah. Ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? Right.
This is literally what we're doing. This is I need to wrap my brain around not ingesting all of this because I'm like 3 little candy bars. That's not even a whole candy bar. I could have 3 little ones. I could have 5 little ones. I hear 10 little ones. And now it's all of a sudden I see all the wrappers in the aftermath of what the hell did I do last night? Who made all these bad decisions? Wasn't me. That Stephanie was last night. This Stephanie is showing up to the gym today and moving my body.
Yeah.
So
different identities.
Yes. Stephanie in the morning is a different person than Stephanie at night. Stephanie at night is a gremlin. I am like, have you ever seen the movie Gremlins? She is evil.
It's like, who is your alter ego?
I do. I have this duality of my life.
We need to join them.
I don't know if those Wonder Twins should merge, but they need to because I cannot continue life like this.
It's funny. I remember I also sing, and back in the day, I remember hearing an interview with Beyonce and also Christina Aguilera. They talked about how when they go on stage, they're a different person.
100
different persona.
Yes.
And it's very different than their real, back self. And so I tell my clients, I'm like, what is your alter ego that you want?
Yeah.
Let's create the alter ego that you desire. And then let's start living that, right? Because we create behavior change with what we identify as. So if we identify as that person who doesn't even, enjoy the candy, it's not for them. That's not food. That's not what I enjoy. I enjoy the prepared meal that I made.
Yeah.
When we identify with that, it's so much easier to stick with it. So create your alter ego and that you want, your beneficial alter ego.
Yeah, right?
And then use that as your identity.
God, she's really a problem. She's become a problem over the last few years. I really need to put her to bed. But I like that. We're merging. We're going to merge them together so that we're functioning human all together. What you want. See, Rachel says same. She's got the same issue. Good morning, Dan. This is your whole holiday. He is a horror podcaster. So this is his time.
I wish I could handle horror. I am not. I am someone that, do you remember The Mummy with Brendan Fraser?
Yes.
Yeah. So I saw that when I was a child. And I had 3 months of nightmares. I learned at a young age, I am not someone who can handle horror movies.
That's funny.
That's not even a horror movie.
I had this moment yesterday where I was like, who did I raise? My 17-year-old was explaining why horror movies are the way they are and what their fight or flight and the actual explanation of why our body reacts. She's like, well, they put a highly sexualized event that happens. So your body does this. And then they do. And I'm like, who are you? And what are you listening to?
That's really funny.
But she went to like this horror con and met everybody from the Scream movies, and
Yeah.
she's very much into like just how it's made and what it does to your body. It makes me laugh.
So I am not.
She-
No
No,
way.
I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So thank you for learning me something today about horror movies.
Yeah. When I was a child, do you remember Spooky World?
Yes.
Yeah. So my father took me to Spooky World when I was 6. I was way too young. It was not good. When they had, it was absolutely terrifying. I still have nightmares about it. But they had a haunted house as part of Spooky World.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was so terrified. They actually had to shut down the haunted house, turn on all the lights, and they took me through it. And all the people that had like masks on, they took their masks
They're like,
off. They
listen, I'm
showed
just
their
a real
clothes.
person.
Yeah, they introduced themselves to me as this little like 6-year-old. And I was terrified, and like I ruined Spooky World for all these people because I was like, I can't, it's not for me. Not for me. But everyone else, go enjoy your horror-filled nights.
Yeah, right.
You can enjoy it. I'll let you guys take that.
Dawn loves horror. Oh, they're going to be horror Ken and Barbie tomorrow. I cannot wait to see what that looks like, Dawn. You and Ken always go above and beyond. They're into like that latex and all the costuming that goes along with it. My sister-in-law was this Hellraiser with this like Matrix body. I was like, wow, that was just a lot of work. A lot of work went into that.
Yeah, that's so funny. Now
Costuming.
I have not dressed up in a while. One year I did dress up as I wore a blue like sweatsuit, and I taped. Did I tape or glue? I don't remember if I taped or glue. Little cotton balls around me.
Yep.
And then I had an umbrella and a spray bottle, and I was cloudy with a chance of rain.
That's cute.
Yeah,
See,
so
I
that's
like
my
that.
version of horror.
I like clever. I had my horror over the weekend where I was mommy dearest and nobody under 30 got it. So that's always fun to explain your costume to people. To be fair, I was at a murder mystery earlier that did include a 1940s thing. So I just kind of morphed that into a different costume for the event that I happen to be at. Tonight, I'm going to be at Dino's. We've got trivia. So if you come in costume, you will get a surprise. And it is not candy. Also, Tuesday night, we got a big Halloween party with our trivia that is at Shipwrecked. Also, not just candy. I'm trying to be better to reward people with stuff, not food. Once again, when you said that you're food motivated, it's like one of those things. I'm Portuguese. We were raised to just feed everybody all of the things.
Yep.
But then they secretly mock you behind your back when you get too fat. It's actually just
it's
the
funny.
abuse that I went through as a child.
It's cultural, but it's really it spans all cultures. That's what I realized. I
Yeah.
used to work with a lot of different cultures, and they'd always say, "Oh, well, you don't understand. My culture does this." I'm like, "Girl, so does mine,
Right.
and so does another."
We
And
just do it in our own way.
Yeah. So it's we're food motivated by habit and by
Eat. You look too skinny. Eat. You're
Yeah.
this. You're never right.
Yeah. Well, that's society. That's a whole other. Yeah.
Seriously. All right. So how do we survive Halloween? What's your best tip here?
Enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Right. And I like to say, create the memory that you want to be proud of. So think of future you, and think of future you thinking that went really well. So when you're living your life, think of the memory that you want to create for that moment. Right. So I think about this for like the holidays, Halloween, or Thanksgiving or Christmas, whatever it is. Think about the memory you want to create in that moment. So do you want to go all out and feel like shit the next morning, and the next day your memory is, oh, I'm so annoyed with
Yeah,
myself.
I'm sick of that fog.
Why did I do that? I feel gross. I don't even want to leave my bed right now. Or do you want to have the memory on the opposite spectrum of, I didn't even get to enjoy it. I didn't even stay in the kitchen because I was so terrified of the food. I didn't get to try my aunt's favorite, dessert. And that sucked. All I was thinking about was the food I wasn't eating. right? Is that the memory you want to create?
Yeah.
No. Think about the memories you want to create. Memories of, I'm glad that I enjoyed myself. I had just a little bit about enough of the dessert. I had just the right amount and I don't feel gross. And I'm really, I really focused on creating the relationships and bonding moments and the memories that I now have for a lifetime. So think about the memory that you want to create for tomorrow.
Oh, healthy memories. What is that like? We're going to find out. Lauren, yeah, we love all of our ancestors, but it's time to change it all. Good morning, Dave in Florida. Thanks for joining us. We've been talking to Natalie Shortsleeve, and her company is Your Better Fit Life. She's got a couple of workshops that she's doing coming up, especially about being mindful eating. What is the name of the workshop?
So the workshop coming out in 2 weeks, November 15th, is holiday eating. So it's all
Yeah.
about how to eat in the holidays, how to deal with food pushing relatives, how to, limit the treats but still enjoy yourself. And then I'll do another one. I did one a couple weeks ago about mindless eating and emotional eating. And I'll do that probably
All are
again
just good
coming up.
reminders, no matter
Yeah.
what time of year, whenever something big is happening in your life. It doesn't always need to be celebrated by all of the foods, because that's how I put things. I'm like, oh, it's this season. We celebrate with this food.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
And that's
this
the thing
season. We
too. It's
celebrate
like
with this food.
we think, oh, my aunt only makes this at one time of year,
Yeah.
or oh, I get these treats and they're from whatever country it is, and I only get them for
They
Christmas.
only come out at this
Yeah. And
time.
it's like, well, the truth is, and like, let's be real. The truth is, we live in the are we in the 21st or 22nd, whatever century
Right.
we're in? We live in
I
the
saw eggnog in August. Okay.
yeah.
Just saying.
If you wanted to get it, you could get it, whether
Yeah.
it's eBay, Amazon, whatever, you can get it at any time of the year. And if you can't, you can make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I there's this toffee that I love that one of my clients gave me because again, my clients know I love good food. And it's this toffee from a company in I think it was Colorado. And she got it for me as a gift one year and it was so good. And the next year I was like, oh my God, I need to get it. And she didn't give it to me for the next year. And I was like, so I went and looked and I was like, oh my God, it's so expensive.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. So what did I do? I literally Googled copycat recipe for this
And then made it
specific
yourself.
company.
Smart.
And I made it myself and it came
Yeah.
out so good. And now I make it whenever I want. So I don't have that scarcity,
I'm also a location eater. If I'm in my hometown, I have to have Willow Tree chicken salad for Coney Island hot dogs, or whether it's like if visiting Cape Cod, it's your fried clams, which is one of their days is this week. It's your ice cream. It's your this. I'm here. This is what I do here. And it's always food based. Why?
That's called situational eating.
It's a problem.
Yeah. And that's also what I covered in the last workshop, the mindless snacking workshop, because it's, it's all under the umbrella of emotional eating, even though we don't want to hear that word.
Yeah.
Associational eating, situational eating, boredom eating, it's all covered. And it's stuff we do, but it's just, create awareness first and then we'll deal with it.
I love it. Natalie Shortsleeve. I'm going to put a link to find her if something resonated with you today and maybe you need to take a workshop and see more of Natalie. I definitely think we need a little bit more of you in our life. So please feel free. The door is open. You're always welcome to come back. If you've got something that everybody needs to know about, I want to have you on the show.
Sounds good.
All
This
right.
is great.
Anything else you want people to find you at? Instagram
is the best way.
Okay.
At Natalie Shortsleeve. My website is yourbetterfitlife.com. And go out and enjoy your life and create that better fit life for yourself.
Speaking of which, we here at Lemonadio have 1,000,005 events. Thank you for listening to us. Lemonadio.com. We've been rebroadcasting on. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate you doing so. And come to one of our events. We are pretty much out 7 days a week, whatever it is in the community. If we're not involved in it and you think we should be, please reach out to us, drop us a line. If you want to come work with us, we are super fun. We're an events company. We have a really good time every day. We have spots open for you if you want to be on the radio side of things, if you're a musician that's making things, if you're an entrepreneur that's got a program out there, we want to hear about it and champion you as well and bring you into our community. It really is love and light. We really have a good time. So I appreciate you. For Natalie, for me, have a great Monday. Get up. It's time to go to work.